Good morning. Good morning. Happy Thursday and welcome to Viva Cafe con Leche. I am the Badass Buddha, Dr. Lori Monaco, Align Yourself Inc., coming to you from yet another gloomy Southern Connecticut. No snow. I don't know what the hell it's supposed to do today, but they're talking about snow one day. I'm already done with the snow. But could be worse, I guess, right? Alabama and Louisiana were having some really nasty weather yesterday. And Colorado had like 4 feet of snow. So no complaints here. So good morning. Good morning. I am your authenticity teacher. I am your speaker, your coach. I am your fat eviction specialist, and I am a chiropractic physician. So welcome to Viva Cafe con Leche, real talk with a cup of coffee. Hello, my beautiful host.
Yay, good morning. Buenos días, mi gente, aquí con la Margarita. I am, it's not shiny here today. It's not sunny here in Tampa, but it's good. So yeah, I am your spiritual and creative healing life coach. I am your wedding officiant. I am your notary. I am your author, your artist. I am your magically orgasmic light to bring you to your true self without apologizing to no one for who you truly are. Because you can't be strong if you're too busy worrying about what the fuck you're going to say and who it might offend. So if you really want to be authentic and strong and yourself from top to bottom, be you everywhere you're at.
That's right.
It doesn't matter who you're with or who thinks what of you. So that's what I do. And if you want to get there and you're not afraid of real talk, of being in your face, of reminding you what the fuck you don't need to do that's going to take you away from who you really are, then come see about me. Because I'm here, baby. And I'm coming. So watch out. Watch out. Because I am... It's about time.
Yep.
So control is coming back to me. So let's make it happen. If you got to walk alone, walk alone. If you got to try, then you walk in your circle, but walk. That's what I'm starting the day with today. You keep on stepping, one foot in front of the other. If you don't follow the masses, though, because the M is always silent. But just, you know what? Tread your own path. And those that will want to be with you will follow. And those who don't, fuck them. So good morning. I am your gladiator guru. And welcome to Viva Cafe con Leche.
The mic comes down. And listen, keep walking. Keep putting one foot in front of you. And if you step in a pile of shit, then just wipe it off and keep moving forward.
It's just shit. And we deal with shit every day. So don't get all disgusted. Don't get anything. Because you know what? I'm woke. So that's it. Let's do this.
Look at Tiffany Bryant says, Guru just dropped the mic. Amen. And Liza says, amen, sister. And absolutely fabulous. So good morning, Liza. Good morning, Tiffany. Good morning, Michelle in the house. Linda McBee in the house. So good morning, everybody. And in the background in our green room, we have the doc in the house who's on as our guest today, Dr. Christine Sauer. And so we're going to bring her up shortly. But let's talk about intentions and coffee quick. And I got Green Mountain coffee. I've got to order my special coffee. I was desperate last night and I just grabbed any old bag. And it's plain. I thought of you, Gladiator Guru. I didn't get my flavored coffee.
I thought you were talking about your mug because I got just a simple mug too. I love the simplicities. I've been looking for those. I think for those so that you can decorate it as you want. I think we got to go to an actual clay mug maker. You know that all they do is put it in the kiln to glaze it, but then they sell it as is so that you can decorate it. Because I don't see those unless they already have some saying on it.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, I love that.
Yes, Liza, flush that shit down the toilet. Yes.
Shit's going to happen. It's about what size is your shovel. And how long are you going to stay with the stench around? When are you going to say, you know what, I don't want to do this no more. I'm going to do it my way.
That's right.
So be happy for this shit because it wakes you up and it gets you moving.
That's correct. That's correct. So with that, let's undo our intention and we'll do our mantra, and we'll talk about women in, Women History Month, and we'll get going on our guest. But she is feisty this morning, Gladiator Guru. She is just like, she is ready to go. All right.
Let's do this.
Okay, so good morning, Iritza's on. Good morning, Iritza. All right, so you got the intention this morning. So what do you want to do? Oh, my cousin Anna's on. Good morning, my cousin Anna Marie in upstate New York. All right.
Good morning, ladies, my beautiful women, my sister circle. That's what I love to see. My woman's quote for today is from Madonna, and it says, I'm tough, I'm ambitious, and I know exactly what I want. And if that makes me a bitch, okay.
I love it.
And my intention for the day, and you can fill in the gladiator with whatever you want, but it's, I am a gladiator, a skilled survivor. I am the guru, the one who sees and the one who knows and the one who waits. Because everything will pause, right? So it just means be skilled at whatever it is you do. Own that shit. I'm a skilled survivor, so I turned that around. So I am the gladiator, a skilled survivor, and a guru who knows and sees but doesn't have to say it or react all the time. Sometimes you just gotta, boom. So the intention, be strong, but be flowy. So be your skilled survivor, but yet flow with the day and allow yourself to feel what you feel and then make a decision.
So be strong and be flowy.
Yeah, you have to, because if you're constantly strong, guess what? You'll tear down buildings, you'll cut people down at the knees, and you have to have a balance. So be strong in your beliefs and be that skilled survivor, but yet sit back and watch people and listen to people and then give them the rope and let them hang themselves. So be skilled and strong and yet be flowy, because at the end of the day, who hurts us? We do.
Right. Shift and flow.
Shift and flow.
All right, my dear. So my quote is from Janice, I'm going to say it wrong, Trachtman. Everything is within your power and your power is within you. So everything is within your power and your power is within you. Mm-hmm. And the mantra for today, empower is me power. Empower is me power.
Yes, it is. It is. I love that.
All right. We got a lot of people coming on today. So good morning to Ruthie Wright. Good morning, my beautiful niece. And Sonia Rodriguez is on. And I saw Stephanie Nieves. And there was a few people too that, let me see. Michelle Imar Rivera is on. My R is not rolling very well this morning. So good morning. Good morning, everyone. We're so glad you are here.
Yes. Good morning, my powerful women. That's what I love to see that. And if any men come on, then you're welcome. But all the rest of you, buenos dias.
Yes, in fact, we love it when the men come on, because that just shows how brave and beautiful that they are, because they can be in this space. They can share the wisdom. They honor us, which is absolutely great, because every man that comes on is always so very honoring of the women in their lives and the women on the show. So we just absolutely love that. We love it, love it, love it. So spread it. And don't forget to get on the YouTube channel and like, subscribe, hit the notification, ring the bell so you get notifications. We have to spread this, spread. We don't want to spread it like poison. We want to spread it like beautiful frosting. No, I don't know. You're better at this than I am.
It's like, you know what?
Read
Help
it
us
like-
plant the seeds for
Yes,
tomorrow's
that's
trees
better.
that will
No
bring
poison.
clean air and shade when needed so that we may take a good rest after a long day's work. That's what we're asking. We're asking that if you believe, if you sign up to listen to us every Tuesday and Thursday morning at 8 a.m., then help us share the love, because you don't know what your comment or what we're saying can do to save somebody's life that morning, or can help them take a different route that's good. They were about to do something they knew they shouldn't, but they were just in that funk, and they heard us say something, or they read what you wrote, or Lori posted it up here. We don't know what goodness we're spreading, and that's why we say, help us share this platform, because no matter where you share it, your names still come up in the comments. The comments can be read no matter how far back they go to. So let's save one another by saving one another. Vale? Namaste.
So I'm looking. So we get chats. We have both the running chat, and then we have the private chat. And our guest, Dr. Christine, put, "It takes a lot of bullshit to fertilize a garden." Absolutely. Absolutely. And man, we got some luscious gardens out there, because we're inundated with bullshit out there.
Exactly. So it's about being strong and flowing. So what happens? You can be strong, but if you like skeeve all that shit, chew, fertilize, and guess what? You're not gonna have a garden. So that's what it's all about. It's about, you know what? Be strong and be a skilled, strong woman in everything you do and accomplish everything you want. Because
Absolutely.
we can. We're the only ones who limit ourselves. Okay, I'm done. I'm done with my rant.
No, we know you're not. We don't.
Good morning.
That's just the start of it. So good morning, everyone. And we are going to bring on our guest. So Dr. Christine Sauer, oh my God, normally I'm going to have her introduce herself, because I slacked, and for some odd reason, wait a minute, here it is. I'm slacky today. I don't know why. Where is she? Yeah, I didn't even, I'll put it on in a second. I'm going to have her introduce herself, because I usually have a little blurb, and I didn't put the blurb in front of me. But this is what I'm going to say. Dr. Christine is coming on today, and the title of the show is From Doctor Patient to Epiphany. When you're a doctor, your training should give you the best understanding of what health, well-being, and wholeness truly are. But sometimes it takes going from being the doctor to being the patient to the greatest lesson to occur. And you're going to join us as we chat with our special guest, Dr. Christine Sauer, about knowledge, understanding, vulnerability, letting go, and true discovery. The path to wholeness isn't always what you expect. So we're going to bring Dr. Christine on to introduce herself, and I'm going to fix my little introduction here. So Dr. Christine, yay, there she is, from Canada.
Welcome to my thermos of coffee. Simple thermos.
Okay. And you're coming from you're in Canada, right? You're coming.
I'm in beautiful Nova Scotia, and actually currently it is raining here. But tomorrow
you're way up there.
and then we'll have sunshine again. So the saying here is in Halifax: wait 5 minutes if you don't like the weather, and it will change.
Okay. I like that. I love the not knowing shit. It makes it so much more fun.
Hey, yeah, we don't know shit anyway. And I always quote my dear husband. He is a genius. And he always says, we all eat the same, we all shit the same. Is that true? So
that's absolutely right.
That's my mantra. No.
Yeah.
And as I said, it takes a lot of shit to fertilize a garden. And I myself consider myself a gardener of people. And I also teach the people how to garden themselves and help to nourish and grow their own person, because that's what we do as people, don't we? And my motto, it's never too late to start living your best life. So I'm into tuning people's brains into doing just that, starting to live their best lives. Yes, I'm a trained physician. I'm in Germany. I was growing up in Germany, and I became a physician, family doctor, dermatologist, allergist, and a naturopath, because in Europe it's not so hard to do both, which is actually very enriching and great. And it went very well for a while. I loved working 14 to 16-hour days with a lot of coffee.
I'd say so.
But at some point, something had to give, because that's not sustainable on the long term.
Absolutely. Right.
I loved every moment of helping people. That's just what I always wanted to do and loved. But one day, I sat down in my office chair, my back hurt. And I said, oh my God, now I'm one of the 80% of people having back pain. So a few hours later, a patient remarked, maybe you should see a doctor. And I thought, oh, it's getting worse. So I made it home. I don't know how. And the next morning, I could not get out of bed. I could literally not walk. So what I did is I had to go to the hospital to learn to walk again. So that was step one. So I did a rehab program, went back to work. That's what I did. Second disc slipped. And that time I was really giving up. I went depressed. I was really in a bad state. And what did I do? I just hung around and ate, because that's what I do when I'm depressed. I'm eating, and I tell you, German cakes are delicious, and the chocolate is very good.
I can attest to that.
The marzipan is delicious. Yeah, and I gained weight, which didn't make me feel better. And in the end, my ex-husband, who had his own struggles, decided to commit suicide. So I was left not in a good state, not being able to work, with 2 teenage sons and immigration papers to Canada. Because 4 years earlier, we had started the immigration process, because we didn't want our boys to have to serve in the then compulsory German army. So off to Halifax I went. Best decision in my life. I love it here. But in the beginning, it made things worse. I was isolated. I didn't know anybody. The kids, oh my God, teenage boys, so spoiled, so demanding, and I was a doormat. So they treated me accordingly. I slept in the basement. They had the master bedrooms. Not right, but that's what it was. And I ended up in my van on the highway, aiming for a very sturdy bridge post. At the last moment, a little voice in my belly awakened. And that little voice told me, you don't really want to die, you want help. And I did the hardest thing that I've ever done in my life. I drove myself to the emergency room of the hospital here and asked for help. I tell you, that was tough. And I was very fortunate. I got help. Some. As much as conventional medicine could give me at that point. I was admitted to the psychiatric hospital, where I stayed for 4 weeks. And I tell you, for a former physician, to be an inpatient in a mental hospital, it's not easy. It's very embarrassing sometimes, like using a washroom with no locks. Anybody can see what you're doing, basically. No privacy, of course. And also the knowledge that you're basically at the bottom of society, close to being on the streets. Because there were people coming from the streets there were all kinds of people. But after a while, I started writing. I still have my whole diaries from there. And that helped me a lot to see my situation a little better. I ended up being transferred to a 6-week day hospital, group therapy. Awesome. That was really good. It helped me. But still, I was struggling for another 10 years. I met my now husband in the meantime, a wonderful guy here from Halifax, the one with the we all eat the same, we all shit the same. And another saying that I always quote by him There's a reason there's an eraser at the end of the pencil. We all make mistakes.
I like
Oh, he's a sweetheart. And I struggled for 10 years, and I probably would still struggling in spite of having a nice psychiatrist and all the medications and psychologists as much as I could afford. And at some point, I said to myself, this is not the life that I was dreaming of. I was dreaming of a better life. I wanted to do something with my life. I didn't want to just be the victim of mental illness and be on disability forever. That's not the purpose of my life, I thought. And so what changed everything was me making the decision. A decision for happiness, a decision to change my life for the better, and to start living my own best life. So I finally did what I knew to do all along and didn't, because most of us know what they should do, but they don't do it. And so I applied all that I knew and learned to myself, learned some more. I'm a never-ending learner. That's my passion. I'm science learning. That's just what I do. I always am on top of everything that I can, and I know I'll never learn it all. That's a fascinating thing.
Mhm.
And my mother always said, and I have to quote her, God love her, she's 91 next week. She always said, to know how little you know, you have to be pretty smart. So I know nothing. We will never know anything. And I learn the most from my clients when I talked with them. When I listen to them, when I understand where they come from, that's when I learn the most. So over the time, I added supplements. I developed a strategy and a method to get me out of the shit and transform the shit in a garden and fertilize my own garden, grow as a person, like a plant, still growing, and then start gardening people or being a neuroplasticist, helping them to fix their brains, whatever you want to call it. And I always was more a coach than a doctor in the sense that I tell people what to do. I never, as a doctor, told people what to do. Who I am to tell anybody what to do with their body? Hey, we all are specialists of our own person. As an expert in anything, you can give recommendations, but whether they accept it and do it is up to them.
That's correct. Right. And that's the hardest thing about being a coach and even being a physician is even when you do give recommendations and you do know, but you're right. We never stop learning. We never know enough. But there is a point where we do know more than the other person at some point, and we're educating them.
Yeah.
And you are telling them, this is what I know. This is what I've experienced. I definitely recommend. And they can't do it because they can't get out of their own way. And it's frustrating sometimes, but you have to open that space to know that they're not ready. They're not there yet. And I know what, I mean, I don't know on the level that you did it, but I was there mentally. I was ready to do it. I planned it. There were a couple of times where, I mean, my family doesn't even know how dark it got and how bad it got. And the medical profession only helped so much. It got me out of a hole, and I'm very grateful for, but it was all the extra work that I had to do for myself that they couldn't provide me, because all they kept wanting to do was hear the same thing over and over again. Talk to me about it. I was like, I don't want to talk about it anymore. I just want to move forward. And then I did the same thing that you did. I took the knowledge that I had. I gained more knowledge, and then I applied it to me in the way that it worked for me. And then started to teach other people that as well, to do it, to apply it to the way that worked for them. So, and I think that's the vital piece, really, Dr. Christine, is the fact that you went through what you did. There was a purpose. Like, we all go through what we do for a purpose. And then if we take that knowledge and share it with other people to help them, then it made whatever happened to us, not nearly as tragic.
It was never really tragic. It is always a learning opportunity. And when I talk to people, one of my favorite quotes is, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and it's not a freight train. Because many depressed people will counter, yeah, freight train. No, it's not. And I tell them about the tunnels in Europe in the Alps. When you go through the Alps, there's a serpentine and mile-long tunnels. And when you go inside a tunnel, it's completely dark. You can't see the end. But then a sudden turn, and you see the southern sunlight brightening your spirit. That's the same in life. Just wait for the sudden turn. It can be a quote. It can be a show like this. It can be somebody coming to your life, a coach, a spiritual teacher, a doctor even, a psychologist, whatever. Health is a team effort. And I know, Lori, you are a chiropractor. I love chiropractor. I have one myself, of course. And some chiropractors are really know a lot.
Yes.
And they are so shunned by conventional medicine. It's really sad.
Yeah. Same thing with naturopaths too.
I know, it's crazy. I'm a naturopath and a doctor. I understand both sides and I combine them. And I think they need to be combined.
I agree with you. Absolutely.
Medicine is a team effort. Nobody can do it alone. One pill will maybe keep you from committing suicide, maybe make you commit suicide.
That's right.
But a combination of methods, my camera, whatever, my combination of methods will get you to your optimal health.
Yes.
And the books I'm writing is all about it. And what I'm doing is all about it. Get to your best health with a holistic approach, with the overall approach. Use whatever you can use, whatever you can afford, whatever you can do. Let yourself be taken to people, to websites, to shows, whether free or paid. Usually you get what you pay for. And when you want somebody's individual attention for more than 10, 15, 30 minutes, you need to pay. But you get what you pay, as in life.
Yeah, if you invest in yourself, that's what it is.
And it's your worth. Same when I go to the chiropractor, I have to pay that. Oh,
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah, I remember thinking, I hate it when people said it to me. Yeah.
Yep.
I get it.
And Luis Sanchez says, never give up. And it's the truth. I mean, when you have depression, especially, and the irony is the amount of depression that we have in this country alone, I can't speak for other countries, but in the US at least, is ridiculous. It's unnecessary. And I think that because depression is so complicated, they'll say, oh, it's a chemical imbalance. It's a triggering event. It is a genetic predisposition. It's all of the above. It's not there. If it was so easy, then one medication would be able to solve all the problems. And that's not the case. In fact, like you said, the same medication could save somebody. It can also cause somebody to commit suicide. And so we have to look at the bigger picture and look at all the pieces, that are there. My depression was mostly triggered by the fact that I just didn't think I was worthy enough. And that just culminated through years of feeling lousy about myself and then attracting people into my life that it reinforced how lousy I felt about myself. They would make me feel good to a certain level, and then they were abusive mentally and emotionally, and then they would knock me down. So there was always a control factor. And in the end, I allowed it to happen, but that was it was a bitter pill to swallow when I was coming out of my depression. To say, because it's so much easier to blame everybody else. It's so much easier to say, oh, I just want to take this pill and make it go away. And then I don't want to have to talk about it, or I don't want to have to do anything about it. It's just going to go away. But that's not the way it works. And that's not the way it works with pretty much any disease. There's always other factors that have to play in. The medicine is not always that solves the problem. Can it help? Sure. But
it doesn't.
there's so many other things. And in the end, it still comes down to us. We have to take responsibility for ourselves, our choices, our life, what we put in our body, what we put out of our body, and what we're thinking about. And like you said, changing a mindset, the neuroplasticity, reprogramming our brain to take one thought here and disconnect it and put another healthier thought in, which is possible. It doesn't matter what your age is. The only way it's not is if you have some sort of mental, like organic issue, like dementia, then it makes it challenging. But if you don't have that, you can reprogram a brain, but it takes time and effort. And I think that's the big thing, is people don't want to put it in. When you get to the rock bottom that you did,
they want a 5-minute solution, the quick fix. Give it to me now, and then I don't have to think about it, what my purpose is, what I want to do before I die. I don't want to think about that I'm going to die. And COVID brought that to the forefront, really, because people suddenly were confronted with the fact, well, we all are going to die. And they thought, oh my God, COVID has a death rate in older people of up to 20-30%. And suddenly they thought, oh my God, that's terrible. And when I want to be mean, I say to people, did you know life has a death rate of 100%?
Hello, that's not being mean, that's being factual.
Yes.
Yeah.
And going back to your holistic thing, I'm not medicinal at all. If I take Tylenol with the bad headache, and the trauma that we suffer, I think that it's exactly what the badass Buddha was saying, and yourself in different ways. I think depression is when your spirit ain't right and your thought process is fucked up. I don't see how a pill can help you organize that. I don't think how you being an antidepressants or uppers or downers or mood enhancers. I don't see that. I've been through trials and tribulations of my own personal attacks, my own personal doings. And I just don't see it. My mother had dementia because my father used to beat the shit out of her when we were little and gave her a lot of head trauma. So there was no medication that was going to help her. So in time, with the abuse, like the NFL players, later on they get that dementia, but it's because liquid spilling. That's what my mother had. So I don't know. Holistically, I think yes. I think meditating. I think being out in the sun. I think breathing in the flowers and watching the leaves flow. I think being with positive people and thinking positive thoughts. That's the only thing that can really get you out of your own way, as opposed to being medicinal. But then again, that's my opinion.
Yeah, and I get that, and it is extremely important, but I don't think it's the only thing. I think it's a combination, because we are all physical beings. We have a body. We are all mental beings. We think. We are spiritual beings. We have a purpose. We are social beings. We need connections, and real people. And we are financial beings. We need a certain basis. And I think you have to address all 5 circles of life.
Yeah. Yeah. And you do. I'm just saying, because I'm not medicinal, that's my opinion. You both are doctors and you both. But when I wake up, yesterday I woke up and I think it was just, it was a combination of, what was yesterday? Wednesday?
Yes.
So it was 4 days after my mother died. My sisters were leaving yesterday morning. So I don't know. I slept horrible and I woke up that I could barely stand up because my back felt that any move I made was going to crack. So I crawled down to the floor and I did my yoga step that I do for my backache. And then I had to do extra flips, which meant added pain in that moment. But I knew that once I was done and I got up slowly and stretched, the pain wasn't going to be there for the rest of the day, because that's, my method with the pain.
Awesome.
And I think if you learn who you are, even through the dark spots, because knowing who you are and then depression and life itself comes and beats you up, you still have that baseline of I can do this. But sometimes we're just so tired and inundated with everything that we just want to lay there a little longer. And that I can respect.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
And
there's people that went through grief like yourself. Sorry for the loss of your mom, by the way. And it is a hard situation, and we have to allow ourselves time to grieve. And any severe loss is grief, whether you lose your job, like I did my profession,
Absolutely.
you lose your health, you get diagnosed with cancer. It is a major life stressor, and it can bring you down, make you feel down in the dumps or even depressed for some time. And that is normal. Give yourself time to work through grief. Very
Right.
important.
Yes.
And that was my point earlier. See, thank you because you clarified it. Grief can lead to depression.
Yes.
And I believe I was there when my father died 14 years ago, and I was there when my husband died 4 years ago. And it's been till today since my mom passed away, and I'll be like, oh man, I can't believe she died. And then that's it. And then I'm like, okay, I cried, but I haven't cried. And I feel the anger. And I feel that if I feel somebody who's trying to lie to me or cross me or do something sneaky, I'm going to rip their throat out. Because enough. Like I have to deal with my own, and I don't have to deal with you coming at me a certain way. And that to me is my depression.
Run, Iritza, run.
So yeah, so
Iritza's visiting Gladiator Guru. Run, Iritza, get out now while you can.
So I agree with that. I think from that, I think depression can come when you don't grieve because I go numbed. Because
with trauma, emotional trauma, when somebody gets traumatized by viewing terrible events, getting raped or any other very bad trauma, that can trigger depression. And then your method, Gladiator Guru and Badass Buddha, is ideal of helping them reconnect with their spirit and slowly building themselves up. There's other measures, like I like havening because it's a beautiful technique to help people reset their stress and reset their amygdala in the brain. It's brain-based. I love everything that's brain-based, but if it works. And that's important. And I really think I really love that. And it's so important for people to be patient with themselves and realize you are enough, period. You are enough today. Yes, there's always the next level, but you are enough as you are today. You're perfect in this moment.
absolutely.
Yep, that's absolutely correct. I think a lot of people don't realize too that when we don't realize how much the mental and emotional. Actually, I meant to Nancy Green. Thank you. She gave me a nice compliment. She said I look good in this color, and I meant to put thank you, Nancy Green, and I put good morning, and I've already said good morning to her. So thank you, Nancy Green. I appreciate it. We don't realize because we're not programmed that way. I think most people are starting to understand that, but Gladiator Guru, even though you're not, like you said, you don't have the medical or the healthcare background, you know enough. But Dr. Christine and I both have that training, but even then, people don't really understand the connection between mental, emotional, and physical. And if you suffer something mentally, emotionally, it may not play out in necessarily outright depression. One would think, okay, if you had this tragic thing happen to you, that, the person should be just beaten down and taken advantage of and be depressed the rest of their life. You're proof positive of that, Gladiator Guru, because you weren't. You were the total opposite of it. But it manifests in other ways because at some point, if it's not dealt with and we don't honor ourselves for it, it comes out in other ways. It comes out in any type of physical ailment. It comes out in some type of mental or emotional ailment. It comes out in a disease process. And I think that's where we fall short is we don't tend to look at that way. We don't look at the whole person. This is allopathic medicine. That's the way it is. And it's not downing it. It's just the way it is. It's you have this symptom. Oh, it has to be this. Well, what led to that? Oh, well, it's your eating. Okay. But what led to that? Like Dr. Christine said, you ate because you were depressed. That's the most common thing to do when people are sad is they eat, or there's the rare few that don't eat at all, but vast majority it's emotional. It's the addiction that they get from the food is because it's stimulating something emotionally in them. So you eat Okay, so if you have heart disease, maybe it's because you're overweight, but maybe you ate bad, okay, for years, okay. But why did you eat so much? What was it that you were trying to like get past that you couldn't get
That,
past?
and I'm gonna tell you, I thought that after being molested and raped, that at different ages, that by me speaking at domestic violence shelters, going to the women's prisons and doing workshops with them, speaking at safe houses and explaining to the rape victims that it wasn't their fault, that it's, that was enough. But then I realized throughout years how I would gain weight, and then I would hate it, but I wouldn't do nothing about it. And it was because when I was raped, I was a size 8. I was blonde. And I think the weight was a way like to protect me, that nobody would find me attractive.
Of course. That's the most common, actually. Binge
yeah.
eating is the most common cause. Yep.
Now the weight was just not doing anything. No exercise, no, and that's always been this. I would lose the weight, I would feel so happy, I'd be like, what, Wonder Woman, and then it would creep on. And I think that that's what it was. But I think that, I have enough insight since the age of 6, so that has been my blessing, where I've never had any medical issues at all, and I've never been on any medication, and I think it was just the insight to purge it in a certain way, as helping others who are stuck where I was at and letting them know I was there. And then look at where I'm at right now, standing, talking to you. But then we all have our own demons we deal with daily. Those demons are going to be there every day in our face until the day we die, because that's what life is. It's about.
But it's how you deal with the demons in the end. That's what it really is. And you're right. You never get rid of that. You never get rid of anything negative. They say, oh, you need to be positive. You could be positive, but there's always bad around. So it's just how we deal with it. It's like like you said, it's the mindset. It's
your spirit and your mindset. I think that,
and it's how you feel about yourself. Absolutely. Yeah. If you don't believe you're enough, like you were saying, Dr. Christine, then you're going to be right. If you feel that way.
And I love what you're saying, Lori, about Buddha. I love the Buddha part, because we know that opposites are the same. So light is nothing without darkness, and it's correct. Opposite either. So the same, we all sometimes struggle with life, and that's not being depressed, that's struggling with life.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that.
They called it the dark night of the soul. Yes, it was very religious at that point, but that was just the era it was. But we do the same thing. We struggle with life. And then it's called clinical depression. Here's your pill. But it's a symptom. When you go to the emergency room with chest pain, what do? They do all kinds of diagnostics to find out what it is. You go to the emergency room, you say, oh, I'm sad, I don't feel good. Oh, you're depressed, here's your pill, goodbye.
Yes, that's true.
It's a symptom. It's not a diagnosis. It's not.
Yes, thank you.
When I break my arm, I really love conventional medicine. Hey, they put a cast on, they put me under so I don't feel it. Awesome. I know enough about history of medicine to appreciate everything about it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's more to it, especially when it comes to chronic illness. And as you said, Lori, it's so often that people that are anxious and depressed don't express that, but they have maybe irritable bowel, fibromyalgia.
Oh, yeah.
Chronic fatigue.
Yes.
So common. Or back pain. It's weighing us down. Yeah, of course. You get back pain when something.
Oh, yeah. I always associate back pain with something I'm repressing, something that I'm not dealing with. So it reminds me that I need to purge, that I need to remove it. So yeah, I always associate. I don't associate with walking wrong or sleeping wrong. It's an alert for my spirit, for my body. Like, let's do this. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. It can be any of that. It can be that you're really walking wrong and one of your legs is shorter, and then you need to recognize it, because the doctors don't look at you anymore. They look at their screen and say, "Oh, hello, nice to meet you. You are Christine? Oh, yeah, you're a person. Sorry, I didn't see you."
Yeah, it could be a million and one things, but I know
No.
we should know ourselves enough to know, and I know that. And since it's been so long, and my sisters were leaving, and my mother just passed, and so yeah, I knew what that was, and because I am enough, and I know what I bring to the table, and I know who the fuck I am, and I know what I have not purged, so I know what I need to work on. And I also, when you know what your boundaries are, so when people act a certain kind of way after they know you and you got to set them straight, a lot of that it's a lot on the body. Do I need to walk? Absolutely. And now I have the opportunity to get up every morning, aside from Tuesday and Thursday, and walk. So I thank you. I can't wait for your books to come out. I can't wait.
You are awesome, Gladiator Guru.
Thank you.
I have 2 books out. The second one I call the F-word diet.
Okay.
It's about fasting and feasting, intermittent fasting. It's a fun book. The title page is awesome. The first one was all about eating. The next one will be about happiness.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
We gotta look him up, Badass Buddha.
Yes, definitely.
Because
that's so
awesome.
funny. Because I actually have a thing too, that because I have something that I was just writing up, just not a blog article, not a book, called the other F word, which is fat. That's what I was going to talk about, was fat, because fat is so by itself just so problematic. It causes so many problems in the body, and the way we build up fat. Okay, yes, we eat wrong, we eat too much, blah blah blah, but there's so much more to having body fat on us. And then the more body fat that we have in excess of what we should have, the more problematic it is. And yet people can't get rid of it. I'm over a certain age, I can't lose weight because my hormones, because of this. Well, they don't again, it's just it's understanding that first of all, people have to know, they have to trust in their body a little bit more, and in themselves. They have to know that we have the ability to heal ourselves, and that we can't constantly rely on outside sources. Again, it's not saying we can never. You break your leg, you go to the hospital, you get it set, you get it fixed. But if your back is hurting, or if you have headaches all the time, it's your body telling you, something's going on, and it might not be something that requires medication. It might be something that you're doing wrong. You're not eating correctly.
Stop
Maybe
eating bread. Don't eat that pasta. I'm Puerto Rican and
sugar.
Italian. Everything is bread.
Stop eating the sugar.
It depends. It all depends. Would it be okay if I share my screen, Shirley? I'm so proud of the designer that made the title page.
I don't try. I don't know if you can you share it on there and give it a try?
If it works.
Never done that before.
I want to try it. Application window, Microsoft Edge tab. There it is. Share. Can you see that?
Okay, hold on. We'll bring it up. There we go.
Oh, you have to allow it.
This is exciting. We've never done this.
Oh my God. I love that fork. Oh my God. I love you, Christine. That is so something I would do. I'm actually, doesn't that look similar to the book cover that I'm gonna do for caregivers?
Oh my God. I don't know. I don't remember you showing it to me.
It's gonna say caregivers, and then it's gonna have this as the main thing, and then it's gonna say on the bottom, what's your superpower?
Oh my God, that's
I told the designer I want the finger on it, but I don't want it to be obscene. And that's what he did with it.
I love it.
Is that cool?
It is. It really
fantastic.
is.
Yeah,
and that's available on Amazon right now.
It's on Amazon. I have all my books on Amazon. Just Google my name and you can, Dr. Christine Sauer, and you can find it.
And who's your designer?
It's actually a company called 100 Covers. It wasn't that expensive.
100 covers?
It was a lady. I can give you her name if you're interested.
Oh, yes. Yeah, we'll definitely get it afterwards. Yeah. Yes, for sure. That's fantastic.
Oh, I love it. So, mi gente, look at what, look up Christine.
I'm back.
On Amazon. It's awesome. I have 2 books on Amazon, Dr. Christine.
Yeah, me too.
Yes.
No, I actually have 3. I wrote one with other people together with a chapter on depression.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Awesome.
I'm writing 2 more currently with other people together because it's fun.
Oh my
It
God,
is.
that cover is so freaking
Oh my God,
fantastic.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, and I love that background. That's actually my favorite background now. The chain is broken, and we all have to fly on the wings of an eagle. That is, start living our best lives. Break
That's
your
correct.
chains and
That's
That's
fly
correct.
like
your
an
other
eagle.
book. I like that.
Oh.
That's
That's correct.
awesome. That's
Yep.
awesome.
So it just you see the big lesson here today is that as we're wrapping things up, the big lesson here today is that we say this over and over again in our shows, and if we don't say it, that's the premise of the shows, is to get people to step up and say, my life is short. We don't know how long we're here for. So I need to live my best life every single day. Does that mean like, oh, you feel guilty if I want to binge watch a show all day for, no, I mean, if that's what you feel like doing in that particular day, that's fine. It's just saying that don't let other things get in the way and then turn around years later and then regret that you didn't do this or you didn't do that. Because again, we hear this all the time from people who work in like nursing homes where they say, the elderly people say it all the time. You live your life, enjoy it. It doesn't last long, and you're going to regret when you don't do things. And yet we sit there and we keep acting as if, and I'm guilty of this myself. I've had to really reinforce it all the time. We get into this headspace that tomorrow, I got it. Proof positive. Look at how fast 1 year has passed since everything shut down. It's hard to believe that it's been a year, that all these states started shutting down and all these countries started shutting down and kids got kicked, we're schooling home. And it's mind blowing. Like, where did that year go? Like, where did it go? And then as we get older, it's like, where does every year go? It's like, oh my gosh, we're almost at the end of March already. We're already 3 months into the new year. To me, it's like January was a blur. So you have to look back. And one of the things you can do, one of the suggestions I would definitely make, and I'm sure you both would agree, we have to stop and actually look back at what we did. Do like an end of day reflection or a weekly reflection or a monthly reflection, and then say, what did I do last month? Hey, did I do everything that I wanted to do? Did I say that I said I wanted to do? And if not, why didn't I? And if I can still do it, let me do it. But and not to live in the past. It's just to review, to see if you are on the right course, but constantly making sure that you are moving forward and doing what it is that you want to do, and knowing that you deserve it. Because I mean, I went so many decades of believing that I didn't deserve it. And there was a little part of me, and still is a little part of me, that gets very angry at myself about having let that happen for so long. And so some days I have those moments where I'm a little pissy, and I'll talk to Gladiator Guru, and she knows where that's coming from. And I want to keep, now it's like I'm chomping at the bit. I want to keep going. And there's certain choices I made in the past that are still preventing me from moving as fast as I'm ready to go. But I know that's just a matter of time before that shifts. And you have to know that that's a matter of time before things shift for you. But as long as you make the choice of choosing yourself, that's the big piece here.
But you also, when you make that choice, a lot of people go the extreme. So they fill their plate with all their stuff. So they're just like on a stationary bike, right? And yeah, and I've met those. But I think absolutely, it's always in our hands. I think health, we have to speak healthiness to ourselves. We have to speak love. We have to speak trust to ourselves. And we have to tell ourselves it's okay after something's happened. That's the insight I've got. That's why, we have to remind ourselves that we are magically orgasmic, that we should be unapologetically courageous in the things that we do and how we are selfless with ourselves. We can't apologize for loving ourselves and taking care of ourselves. And a lot of people do that. And then they feel like shit. Then they feel like they're not appreciated. And then the whole bullshit thing starts all over again. That's all I'm saying. That's
true. That's true. Especially women. We're programmed to think that we have to put everybody first. And then when we try to put ourselves first, the people that we, mind you, have trained that we put everybody first, now they're kicking and screaming, going, well, how could you do that? How could you do that? And again, and I think Editha said something along those lines when she put in the comments about how she was changing and she was coming out of her depression, and there were people that had a problem with it. Yes, because they were so used to you being the way you were. And I know what it's like to be a doormat, Dr. Christine, because I've done that in my life. And but the moment you start standing up for yourself and pick up that doormat and say, I don't think so, hell no, people have a problem with that because it's not convenient for them. Well, fuck that. It's never been convenient for you. So done with that. It has to be convenient for you now. And then you have to teach them how you need to be treated from this point going forward.
Absolutely.
And they're either on board or they're not. And if they're not, get the fuck out.
And you can't feel guilty, but there's a lot of people that say, I'm going to do this. And then they trip on their own shoelaces and go right back to being the scared, insecure person that they're trying to outdo and everything. You have, I don't know, Dr. Christine, what do you think?
I think the best way to truly give to others is to first fill your own glass until it overflows, and then you have so much to give and offer to others.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And I hear people misquoting the Bible, love others like yourself. They forget the last part that is really the first part, like yourself. If you don't love yourself, you cannot love others truly.
That's right.
It's just fake, and you'll empty your cup, you'll burn out, you'll end up depressed.
And resentful. Then you feel you're so resentful about everybody. You become jealous of everybody else's success, and then everything you see, it's like ugly. And when people are trying to be nice to you, oh, they must want. I mean, it becomes a whole gambit of shadows and demons and just poisonous thoughts, and you're only drinking your own poison at that point.
That's right.
Yes.
Right.
One must be true to themselves. One must have healthy boundaries, and one must know that it's God, me, and then everybody else. And that's not selfish. That's being selfless, and that's honoring God in your life. And that's how you can say, I am enough. I am worthy.
I am
healthy. I am. And that's the first chapter in my third book. I am. And that's because you have to. And if you're called mean or whatever, any other thing, it's okay. I wear it like a badge. You know why? Because I know, just be who you are. Be true to who you are. And then the pieces will fall as they should. We're too busy trying to build stuff, and it falls apart because we're building them out of paper mache, we're not building a solid foundation.
And if you don't know where to start, because sometimes that's it. You're so broken. You've let yourself go for so long that you don't even know who you are. But that's where you get extra help. That's where you go to people like Dr. Christine or Gladiator Guru or Badass Buddha or anybody else that can guide you. And it's usually not just one person. It's a multitude. So it's like it takes the village kind of deal. It's multiple, because as you grow, you'll grow out of one person and you'll move on to another person. But that's the beauty of it. It's just to get you started. That's all. So that you can move on and become the person you were always meant to be.
Thank you for that, both of you. And it's so true. Not everybody is a right fit for everyone. Yes. There's so many people on earth that help others. There's so many people on earth that need help. There's somebody for everybody.
Absolutely.
So this has been a great conversation. So we encourage you to go on to Amazon and order Dr. Christine's book. I can't wait to have it. Just the cover freaking alone. That was just what grabbed me. I love it. We need to be bold. We need to be badasses. Everybody has the ability to be a badass in your life. Take charge of your life. So thank you so much, Dr. Christine, for coming on. It's a pleasure. We hope to have you on again. You're welcome anytime to come on. This is fabulous. Absolutely. Wonderful. And Gladiator, we're glad. We aim to please, and maybe not. We just aim to make shit happen. That's what we aim for. So, Gladiator Guru, you got any last minute things to say?
Nicole Young, she wrote something that to me it's important. She says, peace is not for everyone. It takes years to appreciate.
That's right.
And absolutely, when you're stuck in that pot and you're just just going in circles with it and letting it boil and simmer and boil and simmer. You're very unfamiliar with what peace is. It's very foreign to you until someone actually grabs you by the hand and leads you somewhere. And I've met people like that too. And I was there. I was a very rageful soul. I still can be when I feel crossed. So yeah, and I'm happy. I'm so happy with who I am. I wouldn't change me for anybody. I don't take my hat off or lower my skirt to accommodate somebody who might feel offended by the way that I am, because then how can I sit here and tell you I am enough?
Yep. That's right.
When I'm too busy worrying about how someone else is going to take me. You know what? I am a handful. And if you're weak in the arms, then move the fuck away. I ain't for you. That's all it is. I'm not here to accommodate or make other people comfortable. There's an audience for every speaker.
That's correct.
And the people who want to learn from me will come to me. And I'm not going to go out there begging nobody to listen to me.
Yep.
I'm good because
Very
I
well
am.
said.
I am.
Very well said. Dr. Christine, thank you so much for coming on. We really loved having you. And yeah, we definitely want to have Dr. Christine back. She's awesome. We're going to post Dr. Christine's information so that you can get to her, but definitely go to Amazon, especially if you've been struggling with weight loss or just body fat or health in general. This is going to be a great book for you to read. And for on Tuesday, let me see, what is today? Thursday? I don't even know. So Tuesday, if she's still on, we have our special guest, Nicole Young, is coming on. What if women ruled the world? For Tuesday's show. And she's also going to be doing some readings, right? Live on the show. Right? So card readings. Yep. So we're very excited about that. And we have some announcements that we're going to make in probably next week. We're just formulating them this weekend and be exciting new stuff. So we thank everybody for coming on, and thank you so much, Dr. Christine, and everybody have a great weekend. And from the Badass Buddha, remember, be you, be real, and be extraordinary.
Oh my gosh, she left. And here from La Margarita, your gladiator guru, remember, breathe in the beauty and breathe out the bullshit. Namaste.
Namaste, everyone.